will begin by giving you a little bit of background, quote-unquote, information around the idea of karma and cutting karmic chains, as is the theme of this transmission tonight. As we have been tuning in with this particular area, with all of you, even before you were sure whether you would be able to make it to this particular event or not, we were already tuning in with some of you, and some of you we know have had interesting dreams, to say the least, in the nights upcoming towards this event. Now, karma, as it is usually spoken of within your world, has a bit of a bitter taste to it. Many people see it as the shadow that comes with being alive, in a sense. We look at it quite differently. It is, you could say, a neutral mechanism that helps you propel yourself forward. Now, there are different layers of, in that sense, the idea of karma. There is the, you could say, theme of your planet itself, narrowing it down to particular continents, countries, whether you are or are not living close to particular vortices. All of this plays in. The co-created consensus reality on a mass scale, climates are playing in, are following your mass consensus in a very, very specific way. And then the neighborhood that you're born in, precise areas, your family members, etc., are all creations, co-creations of particular, you could say, karmic weavings or webs that you choose even before you incarnate as, you could say, a Google Maps for yourself to play around on, to dart around on. So, if you would look at yourself as, in a sense, a little bit like a bird, you place the egg in a particular type of nest. And when the egg breaks open and the little bird comes out, it can't really see yet, but it can feel. It has a tactile relationship to the nest. It can feel the energy frequency, in a sense, of the environment that it has been born in. For you, as a metaphor to being human and being born in human form, you could say that this is the phase where you were in the belly of your mother. You were already feeling tactile, having the experience of the nest that you had chosen to be born in. The emotions of your mother, her responses to the environment that you have co-created to be born in, that is already being perceived, in a sense, by the baby to a particular degree. Now, throughout the months of the pregnancy, you could say that the spirit zones in and out of the fetus and gets familiar with the physical form. One step at a time, feeling what it is to have 2 arms, okay, that's enough, back up. Feeling what it is to create 2 legs, that's enough, back up. And very gently, slowly but surely, these phases of remaining in the body prolong, become longer and longer. So the baby already is galactic in that sense, is born on a planet in this particular karmic nest, and was already beginning to become aware at such a young stage of the belief systems that the parents were carrying even when it was still in the belly. Now, karma to us is really nothing else, like we said before, then a neutral mechanism that helps propel you forward in your spiritual expansion. It means nothing more than, really, what you put out is what you get back. It has nothing to do with revenge or punishment, as it is often being used in your society, we understand. It has everything to do with you finding your way through the environment, the nest, and the next layer of nest, and the next layer of nest that you have chosen for yourself to be born in and to expand and grow from. Now, when you find yourself in any given moment in your life where you would describe the situation as, I feel maybe perhaps a little trapped, a little stuck, I'm in a tight spot, as you say, it means that you have energetically allowed yourself to be focused on a part of the nest that is indeed too small for you, that has become too small. You're telling yourself by the sensations of, perhaps, on the positive side, curiosity and excitement, and on the quote-unquote negative side, where separating thoughts are the fundament, by fear and anxiety and stress, you are telling yourself through these sensations that you call your emotions, energy in motion. You're telling yourself, reminding yourself of the fact that you have placed yourself in a spot where there is room for expansion. Nothing more, nothing less. You did not do anything wrong. It is not something from a past life that pushed you there. It just tells you, it lets you know, there is room for expansion, as simple as that. There is something you haven't looked at yet. There is something for you to explore, something to gain. If it feels tight, you have already outgrown it. Now, some of you may perhaps be aware of the particular phenomena on your planet that if you would hang a wall full with clocks, the old school ones that have a balancing element in the bottom going back and forth. You are all familiar with these kind of clocks?
Yes.
Thank you. That the strongest, most harmonious one, the most balanced tick-tock, you could say, will guide all the other clocks to synchronize with it. Now we're giving you this particular metaphor to let you know that you can look at yourselves that way if you want to. You are in every single moment of a particular energy frequency signature. You know in any given moment, apart from the circumstances that surround you, that you have created to be seemingly around you, you know who you are. You recognize yourself. You understand, this is me. Out of all the people in this room, this is me. Out of all the rocks and mountains that surround me, this is me. I am the observer. This is me. This is me. This is me. And it changes in any given second. Now, changes may not always be as apparent as you rationally would perhaps think they should be, to make it clear to you that you are changing, that you are evolving, but you are in any given moment. You are evolving. You can't help but evolve. You cannot possibly repeat any particular thing, because even if you would repeat a particular action, the moment you do it again, you are an individual that does that again. So for the second time, you're doing it for the first time, for the second time. And when you do it again, you're doing it for the first time, for the third time. Do you understand? So there really is no repetition in that sense. You're always evolving, you're always changing your energy signature frequency. And it has a pulse, it has a rhythm, it has a flicker to it. Remember what we told you about the baby getting familiar with the physical body? This is still happening. You're flickering in and out so quickly that you don't even notice it. But your body is like a beaming light. It is going much, 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 much faster than your heartbeat. But it is all part of a universal pulse that does not stop, that is ongoing, that even continues after you transit, after what you call you died. It will just be so much more tangible for you. You will be so much more conscious of that particular energy frequency when you, quote unquote, return, merge back into the bigger part of you in spirit. You will understand, oh, this is my light. This is what I was shining through the projector that I now understand to be my body. Now, your body is transporting that light. It is in a very strong harmony with that light right now because you are focused in the physical, in that sense, with a part, a tiny part, but a part of your spiritual being. So, that has a pulse. Your energy signature frequency has a pulse. It has a rhythm. When you are under stress, when you are sad, when you are angry, when you feel yourself caught or stuck in a tight spot, that rhythm changes harmonic chords. It begins to feel physically as if you are in a disharmony, as if you are in a disbalance. And that is what pushes you to go and look and investigate what is going on, what wants to be seen, what wants to be released, no longer suppressed, so that you can equalize out yourself and bring yourself back into harmony, like the clock, the one on the wall that helps all the other ones synchronize back, quote unquote, into harmony. And you can do that at any given moment in your life with any given circumstance. You can shift dimensions from the version of you that is on a version of Earth that you might be focused on in that moment, where you feel challenged by life, by circumstances, by people. You can shift yourself into the, you could say, ultimate balanced version of yourself in that moment at any given moment, because that version also already exists. All the clocks on the wall are always there. So whether you feel you are with your entire attention focused on one that is out of tune, out of rhythm in that sense, or focused closer to the one in the center, you decide where you are. We wish to explain to you, to help you remember that that center clock, the one that is so fully in harmony, is always accessible to you. And therefore we will give you a little bit of a playful exercise so that you can, if you are excited about this, use it in your own life to shift, in a sense, to a state where you feel more harmony. And in order to do so, the first thing you do is determine which or where you feel yourself to be on this wall of clocks. So say you are having an argument with a friend and it's been going on for a while. Right now, if you want to play along, imagine this wall of clocks and decide where you are outside of the center. Are you a little bit to the left and the bottom? Are you right to the top? Where to you does it feel that this disharmonic clock is hanging? That is inside the conflict, that is buying into the storyline so much that it lowers its energy frequency to being out of a rhythm. Become that being. Decide that you're there on the wall. So you're stepping out of the center and into the disharmonic for a moment so that you can place yourself where you believe yourself to be in that here and now. But you remember, this is where the center is, this is where I came from. You stand or sit, but better you stand. And you really, really focus on where you are now, accept it, including all the struggle, including feeling challenged by a particular situation. And then when you have fully accepted it, there is zero resistance to being there. You stand in your power being there. you begin to envision what the version of you that is already beyond this particular challenge would look like, what they would feel like even more so, and you begin to envision that. Choose at least 3 very clear, specific points wherein they differ from where you believe yourself to be right now. For instance, this person that is beyond what I'm experiencing right now breathes a lot calmer. That is specific. And we will get to the breath in a little moment. Even more so. The person, the version of me that is beyond this particular challenge, feels calm and reassured. Feel it in your body. The person that is beyond this particular situation, if it involved another person, has chosen to look back at the situation with love and to let them go, or to love them despite ... you fill in the sentence. So really, really, really feel into what you would be thinking and feeling if you were beyond your quote-unquote obstacle, your self-created challenge. And then you step into the direction of the center and you decide that that is you now, fully and completely. And to underline it, you can do a physical exercise. What we recommend you play with if this excites you. All of this is just a suggestion. Only do it if it truly excites you, otherwise there is no point to it really. What you can do when you step into the center is do 3 rounds of gamma breathing. Now, would you like to practice that breath with us?
Yes.
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 You begin by breathing in to the mouth. Keep it open, breathe in deeply, breathe out through the mouth. All the way out. Breathe in to the mouth again. Fully, calmly, don't push it. Breathe out through the nose. Now breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the nose. Breathe in through the nose. And breathe out through the mouth. Breathe into the mouth. And breathe out through the mouth. This is 1 round of gamma breathing. Do you already feel the difference in your body? Mm-hmm. By breathing in this way, you rebalance the hemispheres in the brain, you equalize them, you bring them into rhythm, you bring them into tempo, into pace. With what you were visualizing, you would feel like being beyond the challenge as you had created it for yourself. So to anchor very deeply, very fully in that version of yourself in the center, to be the harmonic clock, you can do 3 rounds of this type of breathing and observe how deeply you feel this shift in your body, in your entire system, in your mind, and how much more seemingly hard it may become in that moment to return to the old way of thinking. So we're giving you here a tool that, metaphorically speaking, from the way of defining as you use it in your society so often, that is, metaphorically speaking, cutting karmic chains. You understand? You're interrupting the pattern that you had trained yourself into when you felt burdened by the challenge as you believed or chose to believe was surrounding you, whether it was in your family, by your society, by your country, by your earth. It does not matter. Find your center point, your harmonic clock, your rhythm, your true pulse, your highest energy frequency. We're giving you this tool so that you have another, you could say, entrance to release that often so highly piled up, you could say, pattern of disharmonic frequency that we know so many of you are walking around with. To disconnect from the old pattern and then from there check in with yourself. What is it that excites me the most? And this is why we are reminding you so often that whenever we give you any kind of exercise or any kind of tool, because these are all just permission slips, to play with in your own way. This is why we ask you, please check in with yourself if you're truly excited about this, otherwise do not use it, otherwise it defeats the point. If you're not truly excited about using this tool, then don't. Using this with excitement will accelerate your process, will help you release, will help you find and allow new insights to become more consciously apparent to you in your life. All of this information can only flow in when you at least allow yourself to rise your own energy frequency to a somewhat closer level of those, you could say, non-physical elements of you that are constantly guiding you and so passionate and so unconditionally loving, excited about helping you in this way, as are we. Now, this is what we wanted to share with you most at this moment. If you like, you can continue dialogue with us in question and answer or statement, however you feel fits you best in this here and now.